Hi all, I'm Pushp sirohi and today we'll discuss about optimism. It's a trait of personality and it's psychologically we have terminology named optimism. So let's go deeper and understand what is the real meaning of optimism. So what is optimism is the first question. So optimism is a mental attitude reflecting a belief or hope that the outcome of some specific endeavors or outcome in general will be positive, favorable, and desirable. So such kind of people always think positive about all kinds of situations, and they always bring out a best, you know, positive line for that particular situation. So, do you know someone who seems to always have a smile and a positive thoughts? We all have friends just like that, like or you yourself, you know, one of those people who is full of optimism. So like hardship are seen as learning experience by optimism, and even the most miserable day always hold the promise of that, you know, them that, you know, tomorrow will probably be better. So they always feel happy with whatever they have in their hands. So those calls optimism. So optimistic people. So if you always see the brighter side of things, you may feel that you experience more positive events in your life than others. So find yourself less stressed and even enjoy greater health benefits. This is not your imagination. It means you are optimistic. So how we know that who is optimistic or who is pessimistic? Yeah, pessimistic is opposite of optimistic. So through, you know, explanatory style, we got to know like what is what. So like explanatory style explain that stable versus unstable, can time change things or do things stay the same regardless of time. So explanatory style, or you know, like attributional style, refers to how people explain the events of their life. So there are three facets of how people can, you know, explain a situation. So this can influence whether they lean toward being optimism or pessimism. So these are the three, you know, like explanatory style, how they, you know, how people let others know like what is going on in their life. So one kind is stable versus unstable, and second is global versus local. You know, is a situation a reflection of just one part of your life or your life as a whole? So like, and the third one is internal versus external. So do you feel events are caused by you or by an outside force? So all the way how we think on those explanatory style decide that what we are, like we are optimistic or we are pessimistic. So let's enjoy, you know, optimistic explanatory style. So how we got to know about it? So optimists explain positive events as having happened because of them. So they also see them as evidence that more positive things will happen in the future and in other areas of their lives. So global. So conversely, they can see negative events as not being their fault. They also see them as being flugged that have nothing to do what, you know, with other areas of their life or future events. So that's how optimistic think about all these three explanatory, you know, styles. And let's talk about pessimistic, how they see the same explanations. So pessimist thinks that in the opposite way actually. They believe the negative event are caused by them. They believe that one mistakes means more will come, and mistakes in other area of life are inevitable because they are the cause. They see positive events as flukes that are caused by things outside their control and probably won't happen again. So now I hope you understand. So, you know, realistically see the things relatively clear. So but most of us aren't realistic. Most of us to a disagree attributes the event in our life optimistically or pessimistically. So the pattern look like this. So for example, for optimistic, for example, if an optimist get a promotion, she or he will likely believe it because she good at or he good at her job, and you know will receive more benefits and promotion in the future. So if she or he is passed over the, you know, for the promotion, it's like she or he think like that they missed out something and that's a problem. Next year they'll improve on it. So that's called a passive, you know, optimistic style of thinking. So in pessimistic, so a pessimistic, you know, see would see a promotion as a lucky event that probably won't happen again, and may even worry that she'll now be under more scrutiny. Being passed over for promotion would probably be explained as not being skilled enough. So she or he would therefore, expect to be passed over again. So they are pessimists. They always think negative, and you know, optimists always think positive about the situations. So most important thing, we must aware about the benefits of optimism. That's the reason why I bring this presentation in front of you with this terminology, so that you will get benefited by the optimism. So accept this physical trait, or like your personality trait, and you will see the difference in future. So let's see the benefits of optimism. So like superior health. So researchers have been studying optimism and pessimism for years. So, and they have found that an optimistic worldwide carries certain advantages. So what are those advantages? Like as you see in the graph, so the first one is superior health. So studies regularly shows that the optimists are more likely to maintain better physical health than pessimists, including a 50% lower risk of cardiovascular diseases and greater survival rates when fighting cancer or fighting with any diseases. So that's optimism. So some studies have also linked the pessimist explanatory style with a higher rates of infectious disease, poor health, and early mortality. So if you want to be healthy, accept optimism. And then other one is greater achievements. So, you know, researchers analyzed a sports team and found that the more optimistic teams created more positive synergy and performance better than the pessimistic teams. So another study showed that pessimistic swimmers who were led to believe they were done worse than they had were prone to future poor performances. So optimistic swimmer didn't have that vulnerability. So researchers like this has led some companies to go out, of their way to hire optimists. So a practice that seems to be paying off. So persistence is also one of the benefits of optimism. So optimism don't give up as easy as pessimists. And they are more likely to achieve success because of it. Some optimistic businessmen like Donald Trump have been bankrupt even multiple times, but have been able to persist and turn their failure into millions. So be optimistic, guys. So emotional health is also increased by optimism. So in a study of clinical depressed patients, it was discovered that 12 weeks of cognitive therapy, which involves reframing a person's thought process, so work better than drugs, as changes were more long lasting than a temporary fix. So patients who have this training in optimism had the ability to more effective handle future setbacks. And then let's talk about next benefits. It's a emotional health. So like we already discussed now is increase longevity. So in retrospective study of 34 healthy Hall of Fame baseball players who played between 1990 150, so optimists live significantly longer. Other study have shown that optimistic breast cancer patients had better health outcome than pessimistic hopeless patients. And less stress remover is also optimism. So optimism also tend to experience less stress than pessimistic or realistic. So because they believe in themselves and their ability, they expect good things to happen. So they see negative events as a minor setback to be easily overcome and view positive events as evidence of future good things to come. So believing in themselves, they also take more risk and create more positive events in their lives. So research shows that the optimism are more proactive with stress management. So favoring approaches that reduce or eliminating stresses and their emotional consequences. So optimists work harder at stress management, so they are less stressed. So I hope now you understand why I bring this optimism in front of you guys to just see the benefits. Let's discuss about what it means. So like tips. So we have face so many kind of personalities. So like optimism, what I find best. So these are the my tips. So understandably, if you are not an optimism, this is bodes well for your future. Negative events are more likely to roll off your back, but positive events affirm you believe in yourself, your ability to make good things happen now and in future, and in and the goodness of life. And you'll become more healthy also, as we already discussed in benefits. So like healthy benefits are there, physical benefits are there, emotional health will become better, you'll become more persistent, greater achievements will come in your life. So be optimistic. So fortunately for pessimists and realists, these patterns of thinking can be learned to a degree, though we tend to be mostly predisposed to our patterns of thinking. So using a practice called cognitive restructuring, you can help yourself, and other become more optimistic by consciously challenge negativity and self-limiting thinking and replacing it with more optimistic thoughts patterns. So you can also, learn how to become more optimistic. You just need to find out the positive things going on nearby your, like situation, and you can focus on them, and you can overcome the situation far better than pessimists and realistics. So best of luck, guys. That's it from my side about, like optimism. So thank you and have a nice day. We'll meet again with another knowledge.